Welcome to the King David Visitor Center. I'm your host, Baruch Simcha here, and I want to welcome everybody once again. We're going to start a new lecture series in a moment. All right, we're going to start the new series, and this is going to be called The Beginning, or even Before the Beginning. Lots of very special information. Once again, pay attention, because now you're going to find out a lot of where the roots come from. The roots gematrias, the root concepts. And we're going to start first with what's called the Ein Sof. That is how, to our best understanding of how we actually can understand God, because we can't understand God. But the highest level that is termed, according to Judaism, the Kabbalah, is called Ein Sof, the infinite. This is it. But we cannot even begin to talk about the Ein Sof. So therefore we talk about what's called the Or Ein Sof, the light from the infinite. And what is light? We see light here in this world, but we're seeing something which basically is defining a concept which well perceives. It's all a mashal, it's all a parable, it's all something that we're able to grasp based on what we're able to understand and see. However, its true essence comes from the Or Ein Sof. Therefore, true light is a constant because it fills everything. There is no place where light is not. But there are what's called klipot, barriers, that block and cover this light. This light is one complete entity coming from Ein Sof, coming from Hashem, God. This real light is conscious light, fully aware of any influence or interaction with it, because it is everywhere. Everything interacts with it all the time. Because of this, it is stimulated and reacts on one side of the world, galaxy, universe, or spiritual world. It is simultaneously then stimulated and will react accordingly even on the opposite side in the physical world. This is the dynamics of, guess what? Quantum mechanics. This is the secret behind quantum mechanics and why it works. This is the true light of Hashem, God. This is the Shekhinah in its primordial state and also in this state. We were meant to interact with this light, but because we are in a state of tum'ah, spiritual impurity, we are interacting with it not on the same conscious level as we're supposed to, because thus our connection and our abilities are now extremely limited. What is this light? The original source. Now we're going to home in and get into, or focus I should say, into more of the details. The original source is the highest revelation, as I said before, of Hashem, God, that in Kabbalah is again termed the Or Ein Sof, the light of the infinite. When Hashem made the first level of Tzimtzum, which is the constriction, withdrawal of himself, the remainder of this light was what was termed then as, or is termed as, Zahir, Zayin He Reish, and Noga, Nun Gimel He. This form of Zahir, Zayin He Reish, in its descent, lower manifestation, became Zayin Reish hyphen He. That's how you can look at it. The Zayin Reish therefore became what was called the Zer, the crown, luminance of this glow, which became Raz, hidden, concealed. Raz again is the same letters, just switched around. The Zayin Reish becomes Reish Zayin to manifest this. Gematria of Zer in Raz however you want to look at it, the 2 letters, equals 207, which is the gematria of light in Hebrew, or Aleph Vav Resh, from which was made then to be like a garment. This garment is more than just a garment, where it is made up containing all 5 permutations of what's called the Miloi, the full spelling of the Shem Havaya, Yud K Vav K, but it's Yud Hey, then Vav Hey, which is known again in the Kabbalah as Ab Sag Ma Ben, which is 7 gematria, numerical value 72, 63, 45. Pay attention to the numbers. And then Ben 52. Actually, those are the main ones. 4, however, we're going deeper. Therefore, we're going to the world of Ak Adam Kadmon, primordial man. And there was also another name, a hidden name. And that is again also the name Ma 45, the value, which is what's spelled with olives. Therefore, we actually have Ma, Ab, Sag, Ma, Ben, 45, 72, 63, 45, and 52. This formed the original seed, Zerah. Gematria, the word Zerah, Zayin, Resh, Ayin, is 277. The same, of course, as the gematria of those 5 names, 77. And thus the seed contained everything and contains everything. It is from this Hay of what we said was Zerah, the Zayin Hay Resh, and that became Zayin Resh, and then the final Hay at the end. Keep paying attention to this. That Hay then became what was called the first thought of creation from the beginning. That this word then was made after undergoing the process of creation became again the outer garment of that first thought. So again, the outer garment was made to the seed, because the seed is the inner part, and then the garment is the outer part, which is the hay. And therefore, the hay protected this light of this garment of Adam Kadmon in the level of what's called the Malchut, manifesting the name of God of Malchut, of Adnut Ben 52. Now hold on, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that the name Yud Kei Vav Kei of the Miloi, those who understand the Kabbalah, is 52. And you're correct. However, we're going again deeper, and the Ramchal talks about this as well as other Kabbalists back in the days, that we're talking in the primordial Malchut of Adam Kadmon. And there also, the seed of that is also 52, is also the Shem Ben of Adnut. This thing combined with the revelation of the original name that formed Adam Kadmon, that being the name of Ma 45, as this name was revealed from the level of Yesod of Adam Kadmon. The 2 names combined thus equal 97. This is a secret of Yesod 80 plus 17 Tov. Now understand that from the first Aleph of the word, or, we're going to look at the words or, Ein, Sof. So there's 3 aspects, hidden 3. We're looking at the first, which is or, the light. So from the Aleph of the word or was formed 2 names, Ehekeh, Aleph Hey Yud Hey, and Adnut, which is also with the Aleph, Ado then Noi. Both from the same letter Aleph. Herein lies the secret to the unity, the Yichud, of the first and the last of the Sfirot Keter, and Malchut, the crown and the kingdom. It was from the later unification of these two sefirot that are actually one that created the name to become manifest as Elohim, with a Hey, Aleph Lamed Hey Yud Mem Sofit. This is the secret of the words, as I mentioned before, Bereshit bara Elohim, et hashamayim v'et haaretz, from the very first verse of the Torah, where the words Bereshit bara have the gematria as Keter Malchut, both equal to 1,116. This is also connected to the words in Tehillim, Book of Psalms, chapter 119, Kuf Yud Tet 72. Pay attention to that. That is the Pasuk Ayin Bet of Ab, by design by David HaMelech. The words Torat Picha, concerning that which is again the Torah of your mouth, talking about Hashem's Kivyochal, like it is in a comparison or example, mouth. God doesn't have a real mouth as we understand it, but He has the mouth behind of the spiritual aspect of why we do have a mouth. Okay, so there it is written, short pasuk, short verse, Tov li Torat Picha ma'alfei zahav v'chesef, which means it's good for me. Tov li, it's good for me. The Torah from your mouth, more than thousands of gold and silver. Gematria of those two words, Torat Picha, is 1,116. However, according to the gematria of the Mispar Gadol, it is also 1596. Pay attention again to these numbers. This being the secret of the Atbash, gematria of the Sfirot of the power of Chesed, Gevura,
Tiferet,
Netzach, and Hod. The upper part of the Zir Anpin, of the short faces, it's called, of the Partsuf of that group, all the way extending down though till Hod, not Yesod and Malchut, and you'll find out why later on that. This is also connected to Shabbat, which is the Malchut, and purpose as seen from the words in Tehillim, Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat, which is again a song, praise for the day of Shabbat. Gematria of those words are exactly, or is, 1596. This is also further connected to the Shabbat through the words, and this is again from the Torah, Asher bara Elohim la'asot, that which God created, that He did. Gematria of those words is 1596. We'll quote the whole pasuk later on. Now the Atbash of these two words, Torah Picha, is 161. This reveals what's called the Hanagat Koach, that which is the strength behind, that gives the power of the highest name of Ehekeh, according to the Sfirot of Keter. This being in its Miloi full spelling value, also spelled with the Yuds, of 161, known as the name of Ehekeh Kasa, Kuf Samech Aleph, which is the gematria numerical value of 161. The Mispar Kolel, the value plus 2 for the two words, then if you add together of the Torat Picha as well, which is 1,116, add for each of the words and you get 1,118 again. Gematria of the pasuk, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Therefore, when a person expresses with their mouth, including all the rest of their being, the Shema, declaration of God's oneness, then Hashem is able to reward them with the Torah from His mouth, as it is, and the Shefa from the name of Kas'ah, the highest name of Ehekeh, being 161. That is a lot to take in, but I hope that you'll be able to understand some of this. And again, I want you to visit us and visit me on our new website, which again is TorahMitzion.net. I'm going to have a lot of this on the website in more detail so you can actually read it, see it with your own eyes, digest this information, learn from it, and grow from it. Because again, we're going into the seed level from the beginning, and I'm giving secrets, I'm giving keys, literally what we can do to bring the light of the Geula, the light of redemption, that which is going to stimulate an action below here in order to cause an action above there, from the location as God ordained, Mount Zion. But the part of Mount Zion, which is of the Ruchani, the spiritual part, connected to the Yesod, the higher foundation on Mount Zion, where Kever David is. Again, the other one is the Beit HaMikdash, the place on Har HaMoriah. We need to unify these because this is a very important aspect of what was already done in the beginning. And I just want to elaborate on a small part of that right now because it is important to know that we have these two parts that interface. Again, one is the aspect of male, one is the aspect of female, but again, they're both intertwined. And this is a part of the concept, I guess you can say, of the yin and the yang. But again, we also have a middle column, which is very, very important. Now, having said all of that, this Aleph, also of these two, also form the concepts of Zion, form the concepts of the collective soul, and I'm going to say in one respect, souls that become one, a half of one and a half of the other, being Mashiach ben Yosef, Mashiach ben David. And these come together. This is why, again, you have a higher self, and you have your real self down here in this world, higher self. Mashiach ben Yosef connected to that part of your soul. Down below, Mashiach ben David. It's the unification of these. Part of the secret, again, comes from the light, which I'm going to go into more details, that came out from the Nogah, which actually came down is like two lights. Not just one light, but two lights. These manifested then later on in the way of these souls, manifesting also in the way of the type of the mitzvot called aseh and lo taseh, positive ones and negative ones, or ones that we restrain from. 248 positive, 365 abstinations, prohibitions that we have, therefore coming and forming an entire person to the 613 mitzvot altogether. Therefore you have, as it's written, one God created Adam, and He gave him and put him into the garden. He gave him what's called the garden to work, la'avda v'lishamra, to work it and to guard it, to protect it. Gematria of Lishamra is 581, linked to the word Mi Yisrael, which is linked to the soul of King David, or David HaMelech, that collective soul. And therefore, because he's a receiver and it's the aspect of the feminine Malchut, therefore, again, all he has to do is not do anything on that part like the Malchut, just to receive Lishamra. However, Ulavda, that is the aspect of Yosef, that Mashiach ben Yosef, the soul of Yosef, which is La'avda. It's to do, it's to work, aspect of Yesod. So this is very, very important in the beginning, just to lay part of this foundation down so you are able to grasp it a little better and then continue. Because again, these are profound secrets. This is information you're going to only find pretty much here. And we're going to be building now the modules soon. So therefore, I hope to see you all again soon back here at the King David World Peace Center on Mount Zion. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week, a blessed one, a wonderful Shabbat, and I'll see you again soon.